Hi guys, Tugu here with a new video, and this video will be somewhat of a back to the sources video. We are going to do some testing about Enhancement Shaman in 11.1. I've read the changes, I'm excited about it. I may say that, again, I may do some negative videos about the War Within, how they handled stuff. But the truth is, gameplay wise, it is phenomenal. I think the game is phenomenal. I think there is no denying that really the classes feel really cool. And let's talk about Enhancement Shaman, which is my maybe favorite class of all time. Like SPEC, I really enjoy it. And there's multiple things that are changed. I'm going to show you a few things that they changed. So they've changed the animation of lightning bolt, and it looks cool. I may say, like, it really looks cool. Like how they managed to do stuff like this. It's really cool. You see? And then you throw the lightning bolt, obviously, and it's a really cool animation. It's a bit different than before, but it's for sure cool. There's also a change on crash lightning. So you're jumping and you're stomping like a Colossus Smash, like Warbreaker from Arms Warriors. What else has changed? I don't know. Did Chain Lightning change? I don't think so. Did Lava Burst change? I don't think so. Storm Strike didn't really change. Flame Shock didn't really change. Lightning Blast would probably also not really changed. But it does feel really cool that you have like a lot of lightning effects, like in general. You have your primordial wave, which has changed, which I'm going to talk about once we are going to go on the talents. But there's a lot of changes towards damage. Now I'm not going to talk too much about modifiers because that will change anyways. Like I think it's 1.5 months away from 11.1. I want to be hyped about it, so that's why I'm making this video. I'm hyped about Enhancement Shaman. I wish they'd just fix the queue times for me, and then I would be just playing day and night. But yeah, that's, I think, a bit of a wishful thinking from me. But more about Enhancement Shaman right now. So there's a lot of things that have changed. On the class tree, nothing really changed. Just like a few points here and there. But and I think just the balancing around it. But from the first glance, Healing Stream Totem heals more on Enhancement Shaman today, that's for sure, than on the War Within. It takes for 100k, I think, something like that. I cannot really see, like 103k. It's not that great, but it's a okay heal for what it is. On the spec tree, they have changed a lot of the positioning. They also changed some icons here and there. For example, Ice Strike is now on the left side, Tempest Strike or Elemental Blast is on the right side. Flurry is also on the right side now. There is a change on Molten Thunder, so basically it was a reset, but it was not really clear how often it resets. But since it was tied to the resets from the Mastery, which is the Storm Surges, pretty much. But now it has changed to Sundering has 40% chance to reset its own cooldown and increased by 12% for up to 5 targets. And each consecutive reset reduces these chances by half. So it will reset more often, and that's a good thing for Totemic. If you're playing a Totemic build, that's going to help you with the Earth Surges, because the more Sunderings you have, the more damage you will have on your Surging Totem. I think it's going to be a very strong candidate for this to happen. I think that's also probably the talent that you're going to use when you're playing that build. If you're playing a Storm build like me, the talents would be a bit like this, but you could, for example, decide that you're going to have more damage on your Flame Shocks, which you can do pretty safely and pretty easily by putting a point into Lashing Flames. Just remove, for example, Converging Storms, and you can get Lashing Flames pretty easily. You could also remove Crash Lightning if you want to, and go for Molten Thunder if you want to, but I do like the Incapacitate effect if you're playing Storm, in PvP at least. In PvE, obviously, you're going to play this because I think it's really strong and it's going to be a very good AoE situation, the spell. And you could also do go for swirling monsters, so you would get more hailstorms. Now there is clearly like a build, like there's clearly like two builds right now. There's a build with Primordial Wave, which has changed, so now it blasts all targets affected by your flame shock, so it doesn't apply a flame shock, it just applies the damage on 45 from all targets within 45 yards. So if you have, like, let's say a lot of flame shocks, you have a flame shock here, let's wait for a bit, flame shock there, and then another flame shock somewhere else, I don't know, here for example, and then you're going to press that one button, boom, everyone gets blasted. And it does actually big damage for what it is. It really is a lot of damage. So that aside, it does 785k in PvP right now because of the scaling. But obviously I have still gear from previous season, which I'm going to put the tier set from next season, so you can also see that. But right now it does 785k, which is pretty good. Like if the HPs are, I don't know, what are the HPs? Can't see like right now. I have 6,702k, which is a lot of HP. Fortunately, they don't prune the numbers, but it is what it is. They don't squish the numbers. But 6.7k, the 6,700k, excuse me, HP. So it does around more than 10%, to be fair. So it's a good amount of damage. But there's also a good thing going on. But before we have the good thing, there's also a big nerf. For example, splinter elements. It's actually not a nerf, excuse me, sorry. It's actually, they pushed it up. So splinter elements was below, I think. Oh no, it was on the still the same node, but you had generating 5 stacks of Maelstrom on the last node. Now they have converged Primordial Wave with the generating Maelstrom, so now you would have always 5 stacks extra whenever you're pressing Primordial Wave. If you're playing the other talents or not, you will always have 5 stacks. But they have added a cool talent, which is Primordial Storm. So whenever you're going to use Primordial Wave, it transforms into a single-use Primordial Storm for 15 seconds after it casts. It will devastate nearby enemies with a Primordial Storm, dealing 105k Flame Strike, 105 Frost Strike, and 105 Storm Strike, and unleashing a Lightning Bolt or a Chain Lightning at 150% effectiveness. So it has a multi-purpose damage source, which it will blast Lightning Bolt, it will blast the damage as well, and it can consume Maelstrom Weapon for increased damage. So it means that if you have 10 stacks, it will do a lot of damage. So for example, let's get those stacks. I'm going to press Flame Shock, I'm going to press Primordial Wave, I'm going to press my Primordial Storm, and that will do a lot of damage. Like, I have details working for this video, like, luckily it critted for 900k on one instance. I didn't do a lightning bolt. It did more 806k lightning bolt damage. It did primordial lightning also for 774k, and it also did the primordial fire, which again, you see, it doesn't have to crit everything doesn't have to crit. Like, you have 2 things that's critting and 1 thing that is not critting. For example, you have Primordial Fire for 385k, and this is like unbuffed, because I could also use my Feral Spirits, I could use other stuff to do more damage. So my Primordial Frost did 900k, Lightning 774k. So let's round it up. It did 1.6 million to put it short. At 800k, so we would have 2.4 million, and then a Primordial Fire of 300 and let's say 350k, so it would be a bit more precise on a player, for example, 2.7 million, something like that. Again, I'm just roughing it up. 2.7 million with just one ability that you would have and need 10 Maelstrom to use it, and it is melee range, so you have to be melee to use it or it will be wasted. So it's an aura, right? So for example, I'm going to use it right now. I have 5 stacks. I'm going to still use it. It's melee, so you're striking and you're doing a lightning bolt at the end. It does some crazy amount of damage. And this is really fun to press as well. And it's AoE. So it means that if you have 3 person around you, they're going to get blasted, all 3, by the Primordial Storm, which is a good ability to press. It feels good to press. Now it's in a direct competition with Ascendance, so if you like Ascendance, it doesn't really, it's not like it sucks, but you have to choose. Either you go for a full burst rotation, like a burst build, which you can do. For example, you're playing with Ascendance, a static accumulation, and let's say that at one point you can even sacrifice Elemental Spirits, and you go for Torrentification, you would still have a 2-minute CD Ascendance. That would make you literally a burst machine. I can show it right now if you want to. I don't know if I will have the CD for it, but I will not be able to swap it back afterwards. But let's put it on Shift G to just make it easier for me. So I'm gonna do the rotation. First and foremost, I need to have 10 Maelstrom or at 5, so I'm gonna get 5 Maelstrom. I can see up. My Maelstrom generation will be lower because I did remove the Maelstrom generation. I have 5, so I'm gonna press my Primordial Wave. I'm gonna press my Ascendance, my Primal Storm, and I'm gonna just press my Wind Strikes. And this is like a lot of damage, right? This is like a lot of damage. I didn't even press my Feral Spirits and not even my Doom Winds, and this is incredible damage. That's all I have to say. And then you have also your big damage which comes from Wotlk Blaze. So the burst rotation you could have with just pressing 2 CDs is very impressive. And the good thing is about Primordial Wave and Primordial Storm, it is a 30-second CD, so you could press 4 times before the next Ascendance, which it's really impressive. I personally really like it. I have fun with it, to be fair. I still think a lot of add-ons are needed to track a lot of the stuff that you want to track, because right now, if I want to track everything, I have to look at my bars or I have to look up. So I never really look at the PvP training dummy. Now, luckily, I do play Enhancement Shaman a lot. Whenever I'm playing retail, I'm playing Enhancement Shaman. So it's a really like fun spec for me. But it's like still needed to have weak auras or add-ons to track a lot of the stuff, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So in general, I feel like it's a very good change. I really enjoy it, and I look forward to keep on testing it. So that's a very good thing to do as well. And like I said, you don't need to play Ascendance. You could play Ascendance if you want to. I think my preferred build would still be either Ascendance or either Primordial Storm. I still think this is too important to pass up. Like, I think the generation of Maelstrom is too comfy to not have it. I also love Swirling Maelstrom, but that's not really, like, you don't need to. You can play around that, but you don't need to. You could also say, look, Tempest Strike, I don't care. You could also do that. The issue is that you still need to use those points up. There's still a lot of things that you need to decide if you really want it or not. For example, Wotlk Blaze, do you really need it? It's 470k, it's not bad damage, like for sure, especially in AoE situations, and it's better to press that than than your Flame Shock, but you still need to make choices to be able to spend the points that you would like to spend elsewhere. You could also say, look, I don't care about Crash Lightning, I want to have maximum amount of Maelstrom weapon, and I want to be able to do a lot of damage with my Lashing Flames. Boom, with your Flame Shock. You could just do, with your Sundering, it will be every 40 seconds you will be buffing for 20 seconds your Flame Shock, which is not bad. And again, I'm not playing with Lava Lash. So this is a build that you could play without Lava Lash. You could also play a build with Lava Lash. To be fair, nothing really changed on that front, so if you want to play Lava Lash, it still is the same, except that a lot of the talents are pushed up. For example, you see Molten Assault, Lava Lash, Hot Hand, and Ashen Catalyst. It's way more up on the tree compared to what we had, because before we had Swirling Maelstrom and Hailstorm on the right side of the tree, so that is gone. So that's a good thing. Again, I think those are good changes. I personally like it. There's a lot more changes that are probably going to come, but right now I do like it. Electrocute got buffed. Now, is it going to be good enough to be able to do some good damage? I don't know, because again, it's very hard for me to test it. There is no one that has a buff for me to purge. But yeah, it's 200k over 3 seconds. I guess if you're spamming it, if you like long ranged, why not? the truth is it needs to be even like ×2 whatever you're doing Greater Purge, in my opinion. If you have like 400k with Greater Purge, it would be like a worthwhile PvP talent to play around. Right now it's not the case. If anything, there is nothing else that has changed too much, if I'm not mistaken. Burrow is still a PvP talent, unfortunately. I don't know why, but it still do that. Lava Burst, like I have it right now. You should not play, like you should not cast Lava Burst at all. It should be only lightning bolt. And Elemental Blast is a good thing to pick if you want to, but if you're playing the Storm build, you're most likely going to spend on Lightning Bolt instead of like Elemental Blast, which is a shame, but it is what it is. So those are actually the changes. There is not a lot of changes else, except the fact that now a lot of the abilities are scaling well with the mastery, so they are either bug fixes or they are literally intended to be like this. So now mastery is really high impact, especially for Primordial Storm. Like I said, like it hits 4 times and it's all elemental damage, right? And there's a bit of physical damage, but it's all elemental damage, so it can be adding up. Like I'm gonna show you again like last time the burst, right? I can even buff it even more by going for Legacy of the Frostwitch. So it will give me like insane amount of damage. You'll see. So I'm gonna apply the Flame Shock. I'm gonna try to get my 5 stacks before I start. I'm gonna push every single button I have. Primordial Wave. And this is a crazy damage. That's really crazy damage. I don't know if it's like very PvP friendly, but it does a lot of damage. Like here, for example, it didn't crit, unfortunately, but like even if it doesn't crit, for one button to do 1.5 million like safe without counting Lightning Bolt, because Lightning Bolt is also counted into that, it's crazy damage if you're thinking about it. If you do crit like one thing, it is going to like blast people, right? One thing that I need to show you guys, again, this like damage, like I said, I didn't put like the season 2 gear. Also there was written in the patch notes like that Storm Strike only needs 1 weapon to do the damage instead of like 2 weapons. Unfortunately, it doesn't work with a staff, for example. You see, it is grayed out. Unfortunately, two-hander is still not a thing. I wish it was a thing, but it is not a thing. If it was a thing, I think I would actually never like hop out of Enhancement Shaman ever. But if I'm putting the season 2 gear, it's a lot more eye level, obviously. And the gear, like the set looks like phenomenal. Like this set is phenomenal on Dwarf. Just for that, I will be playing season 2. I'm not gonna lie. Like this is like, I want this set no matter what. I can even show you the collection really quickly. Why not? Also, campsites, you can grind them if you want to. Very interesting. I like that. There's a lot of things that I want to see and say that I'm very satisfied about season 2. I'm looking forward to. Unfortunately, it seems like they are short-sighted about PvP, but we'll have to see. So season 2 for PvP, it's green, and Elite, which is purple, which is going to be magnificent. I really love that set. It's going to be great. And then you have your Mythic set, which is beautiful as well. I wish I was a Mythic Raider, but I'm not. The Heroic set, quite good. The normal set, which is red, a good Elemental Shaman set if you want to grind that. And the Raid Finder, which is like holy-ish tier set, is also looking quite good. So I'm very much of a fan of the Shaman one, and the Death Knight one is, like always, like a very good set, for example. So that is going to be probably on one of my next videos. The tier set itself, let's talk about really quickly. It is RNG. I personally don't like it. So I don't like the fact that every DPS and every healer and every tank has kind of the same effects, but whatever. I think it's probably for balancing purposes, but your spells and abilities have a chance to activate a winning strike, increasing the damage of your Storm Strike, Lava Lash, Doom Winds by 5% up to 25%. And Maelstrom weapon spenders have a 1% chance to remove winning streak per Maelstrom weapon spent. So you could be very unlucky and it would always remove, or you could be very lucky and it will never remove. So it's, again, RNG based. I guess it's a goblin like patch, so I guess it's made for that. but I personally don't really like it too much. When you lose your winning streak, the wins shift into doom wins for 4 seconds. So it means that you will have doom wins up. Again, part of the unluckiness will be also your luckiness. You want to lose your stacks to get the doom wins. I guess it evens out. You would like to have the 25% increased damage on Stormstrike, but if you do lose your stacks, you would then get a Doom Winds for 4 seconds. When Doom Winds deals damage, your next Crash Lightning deals 24% increased damage up to 120%. This effect can be stored up to 10 stacks, so it can do even more damage. Like, additional Crash Lightning deals 50% more damage to your main target. So I'm gonna show you really quickly. I personally like, I think it's quite funny, but it does like insane amount of damage, like insane amount of damage. You could like have a whole build around Crash Lightning. So I'm gonna show you. So I have Crash Lightning, I have Crashing Storms, which improves my Crash Lightning by 40%. I'm gonna like change my talents. So it's insane actually. So let's do Crash Lightning without any buffs, right? So I'm gonna Flame Shock, Crash Lightning. So it does 287k. Okay. So if I'm doing, let's say, my my tier set buff. So now I'm buffing my tier set, right? So you could buff until like 10 stacks. So you could have like a double electrostatic wager. So you have 120%, okay? If I'm doing it right now, it does 1 million crit. It's actually decent for AoE ability. It's really good. It will actually make you want to have Crush Lightning even in PvP. I personally think it's quite fun to have that. I think the tier sets itself are cool. I think it's a bit lazy to have all the effects be the same, because every single DPS spec is like this, right? Your spells and abilities have a chance to give you winning streak, which will then improve your damage, but you have something that will make you lose win streaks, which would remove the stacks, and while removing your stacks, you will get an ability, or you will get a buff, or you will get a proc that will do even more damage, for example, afterwards. So you could have the same set for TKs, you have the same set for everyone. So I'm going to show you really quickly so you understand what I mean, right? So this is like the set for the DPS enhancement shaman. Then you have also the casters. I think it's also a bit different. Jackpot for casters. So it's kind of the same. Your spells and abilities have a chance to hit a jackpot that summons a fire elemental. Casting Ascendance always hits jackpot. And when you summon or extend your fire elemental, it will increase your damage pretty much. And if I take a like melee, for example, so I'll take Arms Warrior, you have winning streak as well. So your abilities have a chance to begin a winning streak. It decreases overpower by 5% and stacking up to 10 times. And then overpower has a 50% chance to end your winning streak. So by doing your overpower, you could lose your stacks, but whenever you're going to lose winning streak, you gain 2% haste, and your more strike and cleave damage is increased by 2% per stack of winning streak. So if you had 10 stacks, it would give you 20% more damage, and I guess also 20% haste from how I read it. So it's going to be quite good. Like, all the sets are the same. Now I think it's lazy, but I think it's also easier to probably balance. So I think it's fine. But like, yeah, I think they could do something else, right? They are still not they don't do. Yeah, here you have it. Your spells and abilities have a chance to hit jackpot that fires a barb shot at 200% effectiveness. Casting Bestial Wrath will give you jackpot. So everyone, like every caster, will have like casting your big like ability will give you jackpot, for example, and that jackpot will do even more damage. So hitting a jackpot infuses your pet with a mutagen, causing its auto attacks to deal more than 3k nature damage to its target and up to 5 enemies, etc. So I think it's fine, but I think that deserves a video on itself. Again, thank you for watching this video. Really appreciate you. Hopefully I hit every single spot you wanted from this video. I'm going to try to be more positive. Again, I always said that, but I try to be positive about the World Within, because I do love the expansion. I think the expansion itself is top 3 expansion. I just think that Blizzard really just handles with a lot less care that they should be. I think if they put a lot more energy into current content, like for example, right now it's a dead patch, 11.0.7 is really a dead patch. It kind of sucks, but if they put more energy into it, I think it would be like the most fantastic product we ever got from Blizzard. But that's only like a thing that they could have by themselves if they actually put effort into it. Again, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye. Next video, Elemental Shaman, by the way, so everyone knows. Next video, Elemental Shaman. I'm going to try to make videos about PTR more often, build a bit of hype, and hopefully Season 2 will be a banger with less queue times. But I'm hopeful, but I just need communication from Blizzard. Please prove me wrong. I just want to be proven wrong, that's all. I want to be proven wrong so I can enjoy the game even more than what I actually do. I really enjoy the War Within, like as a last note. I enjoy really a lot of the War Within. I think a lot of the things are really sticking to me. But to enjoy the game, I should be able to get into a game. If I get into a game, then all the things I say is nullified, right? But whenever I'm not into a game, it really feels like it drags down the game even more than what it is. But anything. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye.